4 states that at least once a year, the child president, 11 today, His Excellency, the child president, Tinashe Mugodi, will deliver the State of the Nation address, which marks the official opening of the 34th session of the Children's Parliament. Business is now suspended.
As business is suspended, we are waiting for the arrival of the procession of the President of the Senate. We are going to have a joint sitting of Parliament, which is going to be chaired by the Honorable Speaker. Now we have the procession of the President of the Senate coming through.
Honorable Child, President of the Senate.
The Speaker, the Honorable Child Speaker and the Honorable Child President are bowing to each other. And here we take our seats again as we wait for the procession of His Excellency, the Child President. While we are waiting for the arrival of the Child President, I have to inform you that this is a replica of the senior parliaments.
His Excellency the Child.
pray and be seated. Honorable members, may you grant me the honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, the Child President, Tinashe Mugodi, to deliver the State of the Nation address and outline the legislative agenda for the 34th session of the Children's Parliament.
The President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Your Excellency, Comrade Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. The Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable General Retired Dr. C.G. D.N. Chiwenga. The Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Colonel Retired KCD Mohadi. The Minister of Defense and Chairperson of ZANU-PF, Honorable OCZ Kashiri Muchinguri. The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate JFN Mutenda. The President of the Senate, Honorable MM Chinomona. The Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable CZ Tawengwa, and all Ministers of Provincial Affairs and Devolution here present. The Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable T. Machakaira, and all Ministers here present. The Deputy Minister of Youth, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable K. Mupamanga, and all Deputy Ministers here present. Chairpersons of Portfolio and Thematic Committees, Senators and Members of Parliament here present. The Chief Secretary of the President and Cabinet, Dr. M. Rushwai. Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. V. Hongwe. Permanent Secretaries here present. The Chairperson of the Zimbabwe Youth Council, Mrs. Ara Mugwagwa. Senior government officials here present. Speaker of the Junior Parliament, the President of the Junior Senate, members of the Junior Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, boys and girls, good morning. Your Excellency, before I read my speech, I must say, as the Junior Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, I was quite pleased by the parade outside. If you may, sir, can we give them a round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, you can do better than that. It is my great honor and privilege to stand before you today as we officially open the sitting of the Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe and commemorate the Day of the African Child under the theme Ensuring Universal Access to Water, Sanitation and Hygiene for Every Child in Africa. Allow me at this outset to extend my warmest congratulations to you all newly appointed junior members of Parliament. Your selection is not only a recognition of leadership potential, but also a call to serve, to represent, and to speak boldly on behalf of the children of Zimbabwe. The responsibility you carry is significant, and I do not doubt that you will rise to the occasion with diligent discipline and integrity. Your Excellency, I also wish to extend my heartfelt congratulations to you and the government of Zimbabwe on securing a seat on the United Nations Security Council. Honorable members, another round of applause. This achievement reflects Zimbabwe's growing influence on the global stage and strengthens our confidence as young people that our country continues to rise and assert its voice in international affairs. Mr. Speaker, sir, the theme for this year's celebration is both a reminder and a call to action. Access to clean water, safe sanitation and proper hygiene is a basic human right and a foundation for health, dignity and education. As junior parliamentarians, we must champion practical community-based solutions that ensure schools are equipped with safe water points and that sanitation facilities are adequate and inclusive, and that hygiene education becomes part of everyday lives. As young people, community and national leaders in our own right, we must be alive to contemporary issues and current in Zimbabwe experience an influx of returning citizens. This development represents a both challenge and a unique opportunity. While it places pressure on public service, particularly education, health, housing, it also brings a wealth of skills, ideas, and human capital. We commend the government for its ongoing efforts to ensure that our brothers and sisters return home safely. At the same time, we urge that targeted measures be strengthened to ensure the smooth reintegration of returning children into the education system, including flexible enrollment policies, psychological support, and resource allocation to schools receiving increasing numbers. Honorable members, we must also confront the growing challenge of drug and substance abuse among our peers. This issue is eroding the potential of our generation and weakening the social fabric of our communities. We acknowledge the government's ongoing efforts and we call for enhanced investment in prevention programs, youthful-friendly rehabilitation services, and sustained awareness campaigns that reach even the most remote areas. As we begin our tenure, there are several key issues that demand our attention and action. We must advocate for improved access to quality and inclusive education, including the integration of digital learning and innovation in schools. Strengthening our vocational training, skills development to prepare young people for the modern economy. Expansion of youth empowerment programs, including access to finance, innovation hubs, and entrepreneurship support. Promote healthy lifestyles and champion access to education, clean water, safe environments, and equal opportunities for all children. In a conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, we gather here not only to debate, but to shape the future as young leaders. We stand ready to partner with government, development partners, and communities in building a Zimbabwe that leaves no child behind. A Zimbabwe that is inclusive, that is innovative, and responsive to the needs and aspirations of its young people. Your Excellency, as we reflect on the progress and look towards the future, we, the youth of Zimbabwe, thank you for assenting to Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3, CAB 3. This bill represents a new approach to governance and national development. As young people, we firmly believe that we cannot reach new heights with outdated mindsets and approaches. Therefore, we must be courageous enough to embrace reform, especially where it promises progress and efficiency. After all, Your Excellency, you always say, Nyika inovakwa, igotongwa, igonamatirwa, nevenerayo, ilizwe liyakwiwa, nabanikazi balo. Thank you for your meticulous listenership.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of rulers and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humankind, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trusts in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. All which we ask in the name and for the sake of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. I lay upon the table a copy of the speech which His Excellency, the Child President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Tinashe Mugodi, has been pleased to deliver to the Children's Parliament. Are there any notices of motions? I call upon the Honorable Child Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. I move that the Committee of Supply be appointed in terms of Standing Order number 123.
I put the question that the Committee of Supply be appointed in terms of Standing Order number 123. Those who are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is accordingly affirmed. Are there any notices of motion? I recognize the Honorable Child Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. I rise to seek leave of the House to suspend the provisions of Standing Order number 69, which provides that every motion requires notice. In this case, I seek to move for the suspension of the standing order so that we debate a critical motion as we belatedly commemorate the Day of the African Child, which is remembered every year on the 16th of June. It is therefore for this reason that I require the indulgence of this House to move this motion.
The Minister seeks leave of the House to suspend provision of Standing Order number 69, which provides for motions without notices. Is there any objection? No objection. Agreed to. And leave to suspend the standing order is granted. I call upon the Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. I move for the suspension of provisions of Standing Order number 69, so that I introduce the motion on the belated commemoration of the Day of the African Child. Honorable Speaker, sir, the motion I want to present relates to the belated commemoration of the Day of the African Child. May I inform this House that in commemorating the Day of the African Child, we honor students who were mercilessly gunned down in Soweto by a colours Boer regime in South Africa in 1976. Following the Soweto uprising of thousands of black students who protested for the right to be taught in their mother language instead of Afrikaans. Many of them were killed, injured, or maimed. Consequently, in 1991, the Organization of the African Union established the 16th of June as the Day of the African Child to be commemorated every year to raise awareness about the needs of children across Africa. May I hasten to say, this year we are commemorating this day under the theme, ensuring universal access to water, sanitation, and hygiene, whilst for every child in Africa. It is for this reason that I move for the suspension of the standing order to enable the Junior Parliament to exhaustively debate this motion so that our honorable members from the executive who are present here can listen to us and respond to our concerns and recommendations. I so submit, Honorable Speaker, sir.
The question before the House is a motion by the Honorable Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs that provisions of Standing Order number 69 be suspended. Is there any objection? No objection. Agreed to. And the provisions of Standing Order number 69 are hereby suspended. I now call upon the Minister to introduce the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, the Day of the African Child finds its origins in the courage of the children of Soweto in 1976, who stood up for their right to quality and equitable education. Their voices, though met with brutality, echoed across generations and became a lasting symbol of resilience, dignity, and the unyielding pursuit of justice for every African. As our fathers and mothers stood in solidarity with the children of Soweto then, we too stand today with the people of South Africa to honor the memory of the tragedy and the sacrifices made in 1976. Yet, Honorable Speaker, sir, This moment of remembrance is not without great contradiction today. As we commemorate this day, we are also confronted with the distressing acts of the callousness and brutality against fellow Africans in the very spaces where unity and solidarity should prevail. It is therefore befitting that on this important day, we remind all Africans to embrace the spirit of Ubuntu and to remember that we are one Africa, bound together by a shared history and a common destiny. Honorable Speaker, sir, while these reflections are important, they must not overshadow the central theme of this day: ensuring universal access to water, sanitation, and hygiene for every child in Africa. I rise to acknowledge the significant strides made by the government of Zimbabwe in strengthening national water security through strategic infrastructure development. These investments are both timely and critical in addressing urban water shortages and the increasing pressures of climate change. Projects such as the near completion of Kunji Dam, which is expected to supply up to 300 megaliters daily to Harare and Chitungiza, along the rehabilitation of the Monte Jeffrey waterworks, are set to transform water availability in our capital. Equally commendable is the Lake Gwai Shangani project, a landmark initiative that will secure Blawayo's water supply for generations, together with the Nyamadlovo aquifer. In our rural communities, initiatives such as the solarization of Wanezi Dam schemes, the conversion of diesel-powered pumps to solar energy by Zinwa, and the nationwide borehole drilling program demonstrate a firm commitment to expanding access to clean and sustainable water sources. These efforts are further strengthened by development of climate-resilient dams such as Semwa and Tuli Manyange, which support both domestic consumption and agricultural productivity. However, Honorable Speaker, sir, as we celebrate this progress, we must remain honest about the lived realities of many of our people. The young people in deep rural areas, far removed from major infrastructure projects, still walk long distances in search of water. In some communities, access remains unreliable, seasonal, or dependent on unsafe sources. This reality reminds us that infrastructure alone is not the end goal, but equitable access is. Our responsibility is to ensure that these national investments translate into meaningful, everyday improvements in the lives of Zimbabweans, regardless of where they live. Therefore, as we commend the progress made, we must intensify efforts to reach the last mile. This includes accelerating rural water delivery systems, ensuring the maintenance and functionality of boreholes, expanding solar-powered schemes, and prioritizing the most underserved communities. Only then can we say that no young person, no village, no community has been left behind. Honorable Speaker, sir, imagine waking up each morning, not to go prepare for school, but to embark on a journey in search of water. Imagine beginning the day not with dreams and aspirations, but with uncertainty of where your family will find water that day. For many African children, this is not a story, nor is it imagination. It is reality. Many believe justice exists in courtrooms, in laws, or constitutions. But I submit that justice exists when every child has access to basic needs. Justice exists when children are in classrooms, not in queues at rivers or boreholes. Justice exists when children can live healthy lives, free from preventable diseases. How then can we speak of fairness when some children walk kilometers under the scorching sun just to fetch water? How can we speak of equality when some arrive at school already exhausted? How can we speak of development when poor sanitation and hygiene continue to compromise children's health, education, and future? Poor access to water does not mean it creates thirst alone. It steals time. It steals opportunities. It steals education. Every hour spent in search of water under the scorching sun is an hour taken away from learning and from building a better future. I call upon our government to accelerate investment in sustainable water infrastructure. There is need to maintain existing systems, improve sanitation facilities in schools, and increase targeted funding for communities facing chronic water shortages. No child should be denied access to water simply because of where they live. Because water is not just water as it is. Water is life. Water is health. Water is dignity. And for these reasons, Honorable Speaker, sir, I thank you.
The question before the House is a motion by the Honorable Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs on ensuring universal access to water, sanitation and hygiene for every child in Africa. Is there any debate? I recognize Honorable Casey.
Pamsore. Thank you for the opportunity to address the August House on the motion at hand. First and foremost, let me begin by commending the government for the borehole drilling programs and the support it offers to the rural clinics in my constituency in Makoni. But we see to it that there are three pressing challenges that are prevalent in Makoni South constituency. Firstly, water supply itself has brought by two distinct challenges. The first challenge is the existence of non-functional boreholes. This has led to a major struggle in search of water. We see to it that in areas such as Mabazua and Vengere, there are only two boreholes, which are actually non-functional due to lack of maintenance and spare parts. Moving on, the second challenge is infrequent water supply. We see to it that, again, in the areas with existing piped infrastructure, water is not being supplied regularly. So as a result, households go days and days without water, and it results in children being sent to fetch water. It is also with great sorrow that I actually report that a child drowned in a well earlier this year in Rosape. Lastly, sanitization in schools in my district, in my constituency, is being compromised due to water shortages. Now, we see to it that due to the absence of resources and reliable water facilities, many schools in Makoni district have resorted to the use of Blair toilets. Now, these Blair toilets, these facilities present serious health and safety risks as they have lack of hand washing facilities, and children are at the risks of actually falling into these Blair toilets. Moving on, our female learners are actually disproportionately affected as the absence of water and the absence of sanitary materials has led to these girls actually using cloth. Therefore, this comprises of their dignity.
Order. Honorable member, please wind up your debate.
Yes, sir. Proceeding, henceforth, I propose that the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Public Works installs water tanks in schools, distributes sanitary materials to all the girls each term, and facilitates the building of better toilets and the building of hand washing facility in schools in Makoni South constituency. Furthermore, I propose that the government budgeting processes should integrate wash facilities, and all projects done should actually be assessed on the development, on the catering that they do for all the children in my constituency. With this, I proudly propose. Thank you.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Kudakwash.
Ndinokutendai sachigaro nemukana wamandipa uno.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for awarding me this opportunity to add my voice. I want to thank the government of Zimbabwe for drilling bores in Gutu Central constituencies. For someone to walk a long distance to get water, the distance is now at least 1 kilometer, and there are also other primary schools which are being provided by sanitary way, but because of time there's need for servicing these bores because they are now rusty and the water is a bit dirty. So these children who are drinking water from these bowls which have got rusty, they are going to suffer from different amenities. This amenities was going to affect them as time goes on. If you go to some of the bowls, you see that there's washing, kettles, drinking water. They've got builders. They've got builders are coming to fetch water with the dirty wheelbarrows. There are a lot of unhygiene activities who are happening at these bowls. In Gutu, there are children who are being vaccinated from different amenities like cholera. If possible, may government, the Ministry of Health and Child Care, in all areas with bowls, may they give jobs to the youth to monitor how things are being done at these bowls. If the youth are being given to jobs to monitor these bowls, their time to abuse drugs is very reduced. Even the local government, they must come and also install purification plants at all bowls so that people can access clean water. Thank you very much.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Zeripa Zwekari.
Ndinotenda mubati wechigaro.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, the judges, the visitors.
Veparliamendere vechidiki mangwanana akanaka. Ndakamira pamberi penyu ndichimiririra mwana wese wekuzvimba South constituency anochema nekumwa mvura yakasviba. Vakuru vanoti mvura upenyu. Kana mwana asina mvura yakachena haangave neutano, kana asina utano haangadzidze. Naizvozvo ndakamira pamberi penyu ndichimiririra nyaya imwe chete yekushayikwa kwemvura yakachena muzvikoro zvedu. MuZimbabwe kufambira mberi kuri kuitwa, hongu tinotenda, asi kuchine basa guru riri kuda kubatwa. Nhasi uno vanhu vanosvika 64% chete ndivo vane mukana wekuwana mvura yakachena. Si izvozvo zvinoreva kuti vamwe vese vachine dambudziko rekumwa mvura yakasviba. Tinotenda zvikuru hurumende yedu yeZimbabwe nekushanda pamwe chete nemisangano akaita kunge UNICEF mukugadzirisa zvibhorani, kuvaka zvirongwa zvemvura nekusimudzira utsanana muzvikoro. Mugore ra2024 vanhu vanopfuura 574,000 pamwe nezvikoro 156 vakawana mvura yakachengetedzeka kuburikidza nezvirongwa izvi. Izvi zvinotiratidza kuti bazi redu rinoona nezveutano nemachengetedzero evana riri kufambira mberi. Ndinotenda. Asi semumiririri wevana ndinopa zano ija. Hurumende ngaivambe National School Water Innovation Program. Chikoro chega chega ngachive nematangi ekukohwa mvura yesolar powered borehole uye water monitoring club inotungamirirwa nevadzidzisi vedu. Kirabu iyi ingashandise nharembozha kutumira mashoko kana mvura ichinge yapera. Izvi zvichabvisa kunonoka kunoita kuti vana vagare kwemwedzi vasina mvura. Pamusoro pazvo, chikoro chega chega ngachidyare miti yakatenderedza zvikoro nezvibhorani. Miti inochengetedza ivhu, inochengetedza mvura uye inodzidzisa vana vedu, vatungamiriri vedu vamangwana kukoshesa zvakatipoteredza. Tinenge tichigadzirisa dambudziko remvura pamwe chete nekuchengetedzesa nharaunda.
Honorable member, please wind up your debate.
Ndinotenda. Mukupedzisa, ndinoda kuyeuchidza imba ino kuti mvura yakachena haizi chipo, haifanire kushamisira. Kodzero yemwana wese. Kana tikapa mwana mvura yakachena, tinenge tichimupa utano. Kana tamupa utano, tinenge tichimupa mukana wekudzidza. Iyo iri kodzerozve. Kana tamupa dzidzo, tinenge tamupa ramangwana. Ngatibatanei sevatungamiriri vamangwana kuona kuti hakuna mwana muZimbabwe.
Honorable member, your time is up.
Ndinotenda.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Carl Muchenje.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. I represent Mzaraban District as the junior senator. I would like to applaud our Rural District Council under the Ministry of Local Governments and Public Works for the private school inspection program. However, Honorable Speaker, sir, we say we have private schools. You have 8 private schools in Mzaraban District, but from all those 8, only 2 of them are registered, Honorable Speaker, sir, which is causing all these challenges that are uprising, the challenges of not having proper sanitation, the challenges of having water that is not safe being given to our children in private schools. Honorable Speaker, sir, we say that private schools are independent colleges, but my concern is that if they are private colleges, children are drinking water from a 20-liter bucket, not tap. Honorable Speaker, say 300 children are sharing one public toilet. So with that, Honorable Speaker, say I urge the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education to promote the school visits in private schools in Mzaraban District, as well as the Ministry of ICT to provide all junior MPs advanced iPads, so that the very moment we receive information of children being abused in private schools, we report it directly to the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of ICT. With that being said, Honorable Speaker, say I raise my case.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Cherish Chanda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm Honorable Cherish Chanda of the Special Constituency representing children with disabilities. I want to thank the Ministries of Lands and Water and the Ministry of Health in conjunction. They supplied lots of boreholes in the villages, piped water even in cities and villages. Thank you for that gesture, which is in line with Vision 2020, 2030 and SDG 6. However, we continue to have some problems of broken toilets and fewer wash points in some schools, for which reason I want to recommend to the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education to have wash points in all schools and clean water in the schools. I want to highlight a cross-cutting issue on water in terms of disaster preparedness. There are times when we have cyclones even contaminating water and even causing death. I'm worried about students with disabilities or children and people with disabilities for disaster preparedness, whereby the blind people would need radio signals or audio signals. I would like to also emphasize that for that issue again, those with hearing impairments cannot hear what is going on, so they would need visual signals, and those with wheelchairs or physically disabled would need airlifting to safe points. It is important to protect all children, so we don't want dangers of death. Therefore, I urge that we have safety in terms of water supplies that are clean to prevent diseases such as diarrhea and cholera. I thank you.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Ronald.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. I represent my constituency of Umzingwane in Matabeleland South. I rise with Ubuntu to support this motion. Honorable Speaker, sir, let me first acknowledge what has been done by the government in my constituency. I thank our senior senator, Honorable Tambudzani Mugandi Mohadi, our MP, Honorable Brigadier General Levi Mahlome, and government through RIDA and Umzingwane Rural District Council for drilling boreholes in Escotini and Colenborn, and for the $25,000 Mlomoliwoto piped water scheme in Ward 5 that saves 108 villages. This shows commitment to Section 77A and Vision 2030. Honorable Mr. Speaker, sir, however, water without proper sanitation and hygiene leaves our children at risk. Two major issues remain. Issue number one, sanitation. In Umzingwane, wards 3, 6, 11, and 18, and in rural schools across all 10 provinces. 1, safety of toilets, collapsing structures, risk injury, open defecation, still practice where toilets are absent. No privacy and dignity, especially for the girls. No inclusivity, no disability-friendly toilets. Poor hygiene, no soap or cleaning materials. No hand washing facilities.
Order. Honorable member, please wind up your debate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would like to jump to the second issue, hygiene. Unsafe food handling.
Order. It's Honorable Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. I withdraw my statement.
You may proceed.
Thank you. Hygiene. Unsafe food handling in schools leads to diseases. Poor or solid waste management causes environmental pollution. Honorable Speaker, sir, here are my smart solutions for Umzingwane. I lobby the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health to construct 20 inclusive safe toilets with hand washing stations in the 10 West schools by December 2026, budget tracked via devolution. I lobby the Ministry of Women Affairs to supply reusable pads and disposal bins quarterly to all 8,000 girls in Umzingwane starting
Order.
Term 1.
Honorable Member, your time is up.
Thank you very much.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Leona Nicole.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir, for recognizing me. I am Honorable Leona Nicole Mchatisi, and I would firstly like to acknowledge the government's work for the school feeding program that has been a very great contribution to the health of us, the children. Building on that progress, Honorable Speaker, sir, the Ministry of Health and Childcare should increase the prioritization of menstrual hygiene. Sanitary pads are not a necessity. Every year, budgets are presented, millions are allocated to different sectors, but girls are still missing school because they can't afford a packet of sanitary pads. I therefore call upon the Ministry of Health and Childcare to please increase funding for free different brands of sanitary pads in public schools and leave no girl behind. Please invest in sanitary pad dispensers. They should be mounted on the wall right next to the pad bins. The same way we can find condoms even in the new Parliament building toilets is the same way that we should find the pad dispensers. We should walk around calm, knowing that even if I start my cycle, I can be. I thank you.
As Honorable Ronald has said, is that clear? Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Thandika Peza.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir, for this opportunity. I want to sincerely applaud the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education for leaving out the theme ensuring universal access to water, sanitation and health for children in Africa through the daily provision of home meals and the monthly supply of sanitary wear for the girl child. You have restored dignity, health and attendance for thousands of learners. Thank you for that. There is, however, one group of children who must not leave behind. Learners with spinal bifida, CP, and intellectual disability who are incontinent and require adult diapers. For our younger children, baby diapers are manageable for parents, but for older learners, adult diapers are a serious challenge. Health practitioners recommend at least 4 changes a day. Adult diapers are very expensive and most parents cannot afford them. So learners try to conserve. They change less often and it creates real difficulty. For the learners' health, comfort, dignity, and for everyone around them. Just as the ministry has ensured sanitary each month I kindly appeal for the same consideration for these learners. Providing adults diapers is not a leisure, it is a healthy necessity. It is a dignity, it is inclusion. Let us ensure that universal access truly means every child Thank you.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Prosperity Chauke.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, a child must not choose between using a bush and going to school. However, that is the current situation for most children in Beitbridge is today. Honorable Speaker, sir, in Ward 3, Dite, Ward 5, Chipise, and Ward 9, Machani, we are denying our children their dignity. As the UNICEF reports of 2022 confirm, Honorable Speaker, sir, only 37% of schools in Mad South have adequate toilet facilities. At Dite Primary, 340 learners share 4 pit latrines. At Chashingo Secondary, girls lose 5 school days every month. The reason being, there are no doors, there is no water, there are no pads, Honorable Speaker, sir. At Machani Primary, learners walk 200 meters into the bushes just to find convenience for themselves, which end up in most of them getting raped, especially the girl child. Honorable Speaker, sir, the result is shame and sickness. First of all, I would like to commend the work of the government who have built four toilet blocks since 2021 through devolution and CDF. However, Honorable Speaker, sir, 4 out of 32 schools is not enough. We are still leaving 28 schools behind, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, I would like to urge the government through you to take 2 urgent actions. The first one being the ring fencing of 25% of devolution funds to Mad South for the construction of girl-friendly toilets in all 32 schools in Beitbridge East within 24 months.
Order. Honorable Member, I said order. Please wind up your debate. You may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. I will proceed. The second, the establishment of a $500 sanitation grant per school per term for soap, repairs, and pads, and the enforcement of the SI 106 of 2005, which state that no schools must open without water and toilets. Inspectors must report to the House every term. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is not just about bricks. This is about the girl child in Chipise. This is about the boy
Order.
child in
Honorable
Machani.
Member, your time is up.
Thank you.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Kennedy.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. And I'm a representative from Shingo Province, and I would like to commend the government for its commitment to assuring universal access to water and sanitation for all. By championing the National Disability Policy, you are protecting the dignity, health, and independence of our disabled communities, truly ensuring that no one is left behind. While we commend the foundational steps taken under Section 77 of the Constitution and the National Disability Acts, as the topic demands universality, I would like to highlight the challenges being faced by the people living with disabilities in my constituency. What are we talking? Toilets are not accessible. They have narrow doors, no handrails, high toilet seats, no space for wheelchairs to turn. Hygiene is not accessible. Posters are useless without audio or braille vision for the blind. No ramps in schools, clinics, public toilets often which often of them they have steps only. And I would like to highlight the things that can be done by the government. Firstly, the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education. It must introduce inclusive infrastructure design, ramps and areas, install a concrete ramps at all water collection points and latrines. Secondly, wide doors. Ensure all facility entries are at least 90 centimeters wide to comfortably accommodate wheelchairs and walking frames. Thirdly, visual indicators. Use bright contrasting colors on handles and textured pathway to assist individuals with visual impairments, and introduce every hygiene poster with braille vision. With this, I rest my case.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Trish.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to start by acknowledging the great works that have been done by the government of Zimbabwe. Through the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, the Ministry of Women Affairs, Community, Small to Medium Enterprise and Development, Ministry of Health, BEAM, UNICEF, for sanitary ware donations that have helped us as the Girl Child. But Honorable Speaker, Norton constituency where I come from, we turned to face a major challenge in accessibility and sustainability. Honorable Speaker, many families cannot afford to buy pads every month. According to UNICEF, records of Mtipitipi primary schools in Norton, girls do not go to school 3 to 5 days per month. Honorable Speaker, this means that a girl child is losing 45 days for the whole year of not going to school because of period poverty. Every month, we see that these girls now turn to use unsafe methods so as to curb period poverty. Not on if this is happening, this means that Zimbabwe is losing future doctors, future leaders who are supposed to be supporting the Vision 2030. Therefore, we are saying that donations expire, but skills do not. Honorable Speaker, we are proposing that we shift to menstrual hygiene through pad training. Let us mandate reusable pads making training in all schools through home economics and health clubs. Let us provide starter kits for fabric liners, needles, soaps, training teachers to train the learners. A girl who can make her own pad, Honorable Speaker, will be able to attend all her lessons, and it will remove that tendency of a dependent syndrome on the government of Zimbabwe. We are a country that is moving towards turning Zimbabwe into an upper middle income society.
Honorable Member, I said order. Please wind up your debate. You may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So we are saying that if these girls are trained to make their own pads, that means they will not rely on donations and they'll put their focus on school so that when they grow up, they can help us attain the Vision 2030 and make Zimbabwe a better country for you, for everyone. With this, I say thank you.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Tavo Chikubi.
Ndinokutendai nemukana wamandipa sachigaro. Chokutanga ndoda kutenda vauya vabva kuhurumende vatitsigira muzuva ranhasi. Zvinova izvo zvaita kuti ndiite manyemwe ekuda kuvaturira nhunha dzangu. Ini ndinoitwawo Tavo Chikumbu. Ndinobva kuGokwe South District, Gokwe Sasame constituency. Kuconstituency kwedu mvura iri kunetsa nekuti vanhu vari kutemba nemvura iri pachikoro cheGukure. Apa mvura yacho iri pachikoro cheGukure yave nenguva, chipurani chacho chave nenguva chagadzirwa. Saka mvura yacho yave kuita ichitangura, zvinokonzera izvo kuti vanhu vaite mudumbu kana manyoka.
pavanorwara kudai vanonetsekana kuti vaende kuzvipatara nokuti zvipatara zviri kure. Chimwe chipatara chacho chatoti chiri padhuze chinodarika makilomita 7 kusvikako. Zvinova izvo zvinoita kuti munhu agware zviri zvakanyanyisa. Inini ndinotenda kuti nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Ndinotenda kuti utano ndiyo simende yacho yatinoshandisa kuvaka nyika iyoyo. Vanhu vakuru ndivo vangatove madhaka boy pakuvaka nyika iyi. Isusu tisu mabhiridha chaiwo anotoivaka nyika iyi. Saka ndiri kuti ngatitei maonera pamwe chuma chemuzukuru tikwanise kubatana sema MPS, maseneta nevanhu vekuhurumende tikwanise kuvaka nyika iyi. Nokuti pakurwara kuri kuita vanhu ava tiri kusarasikirwa nemadhokotera nemamwe mapresident. Zvinova izvo zvinoita kuti Gokwe ite senzvimbo yakashoreka isina vanhu. Nokuti vanhu kuGokwe hakuna.
Order. Honorable member, please wind up your debate.
Ndatenda. KuGokwe hakuna mvura, zvinova izvo zvinoita kuti vanhu vatizeko vaende kunzvimbo dzacho sana Harare dzine mvura. Zvinova izvo zvinoita kuti tisare tisisina madhokotera nemapresident iwawo. Inini ndinobvuma inini kuti kana zvirwere izvi zvikapera mvura yakachena ikange yavapo, zvirwere tichazvirakasha tigozvisasanga 2030 tetriko tichingotonga tine hutano. Nokudaro ndatenda sachigaro nemukana wamandipa.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Bliss.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. First and foremost...
Order. It's Honorable Speaker, sir.
I withdraw my statement. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge the efforts made by the government, working hand in hand by the Minister of Health and the local authorities in order to decrease the rate of sewage bursting by tracking sewage pipes in Glendon, Mazwe South constituency. However, Honorable Speaker said, the issue still stands today in Glendon, places like Rujeko, Hayshot, Sussex, and Whitecliff. Sewage pipes are still bursting and some are still open, causing unhygiene to the environment and also leading to the outbreak of cholera and diarrhea, mostly affecting the children. So today, Honorable Speaker said, I stand before the Augusta House, urging the government, the Ministry of Health, and the local authorities of Glendon to do proper constructions to the sewage pipes and also covering the open sewage pits. By doing this, we will be able to protect the future generation of tomorrow and the leaders by promoting a hygienic environment for everyone and let no child be left behind. With this said, I thank you.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Machakaire.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Firstly, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the government of Zimbabwe, particularly the Ministry of Health, Child Care, and the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Water, and Rural Development, as well as the leaders of Masvingo North for their commitment to raising awareness and expanding access to sanitation, hygiene, and clean water. Your efforts are protecting children and strengthening communities. It has come to my attention that as the main satellite school cited in recent reports, Chikwanda Primary School in Masvingo North has 136 pupils and teachers sharing one toilet. Adult male workers also use the same toilets as ECD and grade 1 girls. Funding, no infrastructures fund recent in 5 years. Masvingo North MP Brian Mudumi pledged cement for toilet construction. Minister Matuke pledged bricks. It has also come to my attention that contaminated water, poor sanitation are leading to causes of diarrhea, cholera, and other preventable diseases among children. Clean water and proper hygiene saves lives. Education with schools, safe water, and adequate sanitation reduces absenteeism and improve learning outcomes, particularly in girls. With this, I thank you.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Gijima.
Pamusoro webatu wechigaro. Ndinotanga nekutenda hurumende yeZimbabwe pamwe chete nahonorable vedu vamusiwa mumiriri wedunhu randinobva Mutoko East constituency. Nekuda kwemabasa makuru avari kuita mukuvandudza kuwanikwa kwemvura yakachena, utsanana nezvimbudzi munharaunda, zvibhorani zvakacherwa zvakagadzirwa izvo zvakabatsira kuderedza dambudziko rekushayikwa kwemvura uye zvapa vana mukana uri nani wekudzidza vari munzvimbo dzine utsanana. Zvisinei mbati wechigaro, isu semajunior members of parliament basa redu haringogumiri mukutaura chete mbati wechigaro. Tinofamba munharaunda dzatinomirira tichiona matambudziko evana, tichitora umboo hwakazara nemufananidzo uye tichihutumira kumaministry akasiyana kuitira kuti matambudziko aya agadziriswe. Ndinotenda zvikuru His Excellency vakatipawo matablets kuita kuti basa redu rive nyore. Asi mubati wechigaro, ndine chikumbiro chidiki kuna His Excellency the President. Ndichiti makamera ematablet edu hanyatsotore mifananidzo yakajeka nguva dzose.
Order. You may proceed.
Dzimwe nguva dambudziko rinogona kutobuda ritori blame kudarika dambudziko chero cheiro. Naizvozvo neruremekedzo rukuru kuna His Excellency tinokumbirawo kuti kana zvaikwanisika isu semajunior members of parliament tigadzirirwewo, tiitirwewo, tipuwewo midziyo ine makamera emhando yepamusoro kana muchifungawo kana kuti muchionawo zvakakodzera kuti pawo iwayo iPhone 17 Pro Max atiuyaya taiona zviri nani uye tingamatambira
Honorable Gijima, can you please wind up your debate?
Izvi hazvisi zvekuti tifadze technology kana kuti tivhaire, asi ndezvekuti tikwanise kutora umboo hwakajeka hwezvinonetsa zviri munharaunda yatinobva, kuti maministry awane mashoko akanyatsorurama uye matambudziko ogadziriswa nekukurumidza. Ndinokumbirawo ndakamirira vamwe vangu vese vadiki majunior parliamentarians tichingokumbirawo kuna His Excellency tichiti tinovimba kuti chero midziyo iyi kana mazotipa iPhone 17 Pro Max aya tichamashandisa nemazvo uye tichiita basa ramakatituma. Thank you.
I now call upon the Honorable Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs to move the motion for the adoption.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Firstly, I would like to thank each and every honorable member who contributed to this debate. Let us give each other a round of applause. Honorable Speaker, sir, I now move that the motion be now adopted.
I put the question that the motion be adopted. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. No. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. And the question is accordingly affirmed and the motion is adopted. I shall now suspend business of the day and allow our honorable senior ministers of government to respond to issues that have been raised by the Children's Parliament.
A very good afternoon to members of the House. My name is Solomon Mtlanga, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Your Excellency, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. The Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable General Retired CGDN Chiwenga. The Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Colonel Retired KCD Mohati. The Minister of Defense and Chairperson of ZANU-PF, Honorable OCZ Kashiri Mchinguri. The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate JFN Mudenda. The President of the Senate, Honorable MM Chinomona. The Minister of State for Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable Sita Wengwa, and all Ministers of Provincial Affairs and Devolution here present. The Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable T. Machakaile, and all ministers here present. The Deputy Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable K. Mpamanga, and all Deputy Ministers here present. Chairpersons of Portfolio and Thematic Committees, Senators and Members of Parliament here present, the Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. M. Rushwaya, Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. V. Ungwe, Permanent Secretaries here present, senior government officials here present, the Junior President, Your Excellency Tinashe Mugodi, the Speaker of the Junior Parliament, the President of the Junior Senate, members of the Junior Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, a very good afternoon. Your Excellency, sir, thank you for providing our young people with this amazing and important opportunity to engage you and your government. Through the Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe, government gets to interact with our youth to understand their views so as to create a world in which they belong and thrive. We have just witnessed an eye-opening session, one in which the young people allowed us into their thoughts, views, concerns, and fears. The well-articulated presentations by the young people were also reflective of the trust they have in you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the government engagement session, to which I would like to welcome you all. This segment provides us with an important opportunity to have a candid conversation with our young people. Your Excellency, with your permission, I will be inviting cabinet ministers who have been requested to respond to issues raised by the young people in their debate, so that they can make brief remarks in response to those issues. Your Excellency, this program has enjoyed a lot of support from the UN family. So while the ministers are preparing themselves, please allow me to call upon